All right, YouTube, we're going to try it again. So this is going to be some of my most popular videos on the thunderwizard.com YouTube channel. Um, the lie of reincarnation, reptilian conspiracy, chakra removal. I don't know if there's anything else on there, but should be a couple hours worth of classic Thunder Wizard videos. These are the ones that have been viewed the most on my channel, most of them. So I think I fixed the problem from the last time. There was actually just some bad video. The MP4 was bad. So got rid of that, and hopefully we should be good. We'll find out. All right. Enjoy. Real esoteric spirituality without all of the fluff, without all of the nonsense. This is the thunderwizard.com YouTube channel. Click. Hi, this is Michael William Denney of the thunderwizard.com YouTube channel, and so today I want to talk to you about chakra removal. Do not have your chakras removed. I'm going to explain to you exactly why. If you're thinking about having your chakras removed, watch this video first. If you've already had your chakras removed, don't worry. Watch this video. I'll tell you what you need to do to get yourself back into balancing. Okay, so what is this idea about chakra removal? Well, this is a very popular idea that's been going around for a while. And I've been contacted by people, you know, this is the one thing I love about YouTube is that people contact me with questions and tell me things like chakra removal, should I have my chakras removed? That kind of stuff. And so, of course, I want to understand that. Listen, if there is something that, you know, is negative about the chakras, I'm going to be the first in line to have them removed. So listen, I have an open mind. I don't care. I don't have an agenda one way or another. I don't have any particular belief system that I need to protect. I'm open to the truth, whatever that is. So, of course, I want to understand this. Is this a good idea to have my chakras removed? So first we need to understand the theory behind chakra removal. Now the theory behind chakra removal is that the chakras are an alien implant system, that they're implanted into your body, into your energy system, in order to allow aliens to control and manipulate you. They use the chakras to siphon energy off of you so they can feed off of you. They use the chakras to manipulate and control you. They use the chakras as a delivery system whereby they can implant programs like software, like belief systems and fears and all this kind of stuff. So that's the first level. And of course, if that were true, trust me, I'd be the first one to have my chakras removed. The second part of this belief system is that the chakras are destructive because they fragment your consciousness. And that, so, you know, and people are spending too much time focusing on these different chakras and trying to balance their chakras. And, you know, they're not just the head and the heart and, you know, they're one person, they're not seven. And so it's bad because it divides your awareness. And so you want to get rid of that so you can be unified. This is very important because if you understand why people are doing this, you can understand what the misconception is. And by the way, this misconception is the biggest misconception in all of human history. And that misconception is this. The misconception behind this belief system is that you as a human being are not protected by the universe. That from the beginning of your birth, you are at risk, that the universe either cannot or will not protect you, that the universe either does not love you or can't love you, and therefore you are subject to being attacked, destroyed, and manipulated by external spiritual forces. Okay? This is a lie that was introduced about 2,000 years ago, and it's the most destructive lie of the human race. This idea that you are unloved and unworthy and that the universe wants to destroy you. Having said that, I do believe that this idea of chakra removal can be very empowering to a lot of people. And that's because people who believe, who are operating from this victim mentality, that the universe is not safe, and that they are not protected, and that they can be attacked and manipulated by other entities. If you have this belief, then I completely agree with you that you need to get your power back. And so this idea of chakra removal, what it does for these people is that it gives them a feeling of empowerment. It makes them feel like they're taking their responsibility back for their life. And I am all about that. Listen, if there's one teaching that everything I do is based on, it is this. It is that everything in your life is your creation. You are responsible for everything in your life. And the sooner that you understand that, and the sooner that you realize that you are not a victim, the only way that you can be victimized is by your own choice. You must give your permission in order for anybody to victimize you in any way. Whether that be aliens, whether that be people, whether that be life, whatever it is, you give permission in order to be manipulated. So if you go through this experience of chakra removal in order to unify yourself, in order to gain your power back, in order to feel like now these aliens can't control you, then do it. Because you're not going to do anything. The chakras are still going to be there. You can't get rid of them. But that experience that you have, when you go through that meditation experience and you imagine yourself pulling off of these energetic ties to other beings, and you are going to feel powerful. And the bottom line is you're going to take responsibility for your life. And then you will be successful. So if that's what you need to do, go do it. But I'm here to tell you you don't need to. All you need to do is just simply understand what I've already told you. That you have the power to completely control your own life and your own destiny. And nobody and nothing can take it away from you without your permission. If people, entities, institutions have made you feel victimized, sometimes people get hurt, parents, you can be raped, you can be abused, these things do happen. But you can get your energy back, you can get your power back, but you have to believe that, number one, the universe wants you to be that way and will give you all the resources necessary to accomplish that. That's the first step. So there's a lot more we could talk about. I'm going to keep talking about this stuff because my job is to empower you. So listen, if you like this channel, go ahead and support the channel. If you don't see the thing above, click below and support this channel. You can also help me by subscribing, liking, commenting. We're also on Twitter at ThunderWizard at Twitter, and retweet this, share these videos. Let's get this message out there. Let's give people power in their lives again. So stay tuned. There's more to come. Next thing I'm going to talk to you about is the most destructive cult in the world that everybody should be aware of. So stay tuned for that. Hi, this is Michael William Denney of ThunderShamanism.com. So today, this is going to be a really exciting video. I'm really looking forward to sharing this information with you. Today we're going to be talking again about the global conspiracy of the reptilians. And I'm going to reveal to you information that maybe some of you have intuited, but I'm gonna, here's the thing about the reptilian conspiracy. The information that's being presented to us through people like David Icke and others is actually very true. But the problem is that their understanding about it is incomplete. And so if the information is not complete, then you don't know what actions are necessary for you to take. So this is why it's important that a shaman interprets this information. Because here's something that we need to understand about the reptilians and their world and ours. And this is something that shamans have known, throughout the centuries in all cultures. Shamans know that there are multiple dimensions that are overlapping each other all the time. And that the dimension that we live in here is sort of like a kaleidoscope where we're able to tune in other dimensions and either bring those aspects of that dimension into our world, we're able to go into their world and vice versa. But those dimensions need us in order to access our dimension. Otherwise, they're stuck in their dimension. And they try to influence us in all kinds of ways. The celestial masters, they try to influence us from their dimension. The reptilians have their own dimension that overlaps ours. And they, not only do they try to influence us, but they actually try to trap us in their dimension and then use us as vehicles. Now here's the part that a lot of people don't understand about the reptilians. You hear about the reptilian shapeshifters. This is absolutely correct. But what people seem to think is that there's these reptilians who are pretending to be humans. But that's not how it works. The reptilians use humans as hosts. And those human hosts are completely, totally unaware that they're being used as hosts for the reptilians. So that's how the reptilians get into our dimension and influence us. But they do it in concert with us. And it's only if we are operating from their dimension. And so their whole agenda is to get us completely tuned in to their dimension only and to operate from their dimension. And today I'm going to spell out for you exactly what that is and how that works. Well, first let's talk about the fourfold reptilian conspiracy. We've talked about We've talked about this before, but very briefly, here's how it goes. The reptilian conspiracy starts with, first, number one, they want to destroy your divine human identity. The second level of the agenda is to prevent you from being able to protect yourself. And this will be very important because you see, if you don't have a strong aura, if you don't have a strong sense of self, this third dimension, which we're going to talk about today, this third part of the agenda is where the majority of people get stuck. The third part of the agenda is they want to keep you trapped in fear. Because if they can keep you trapped in fear, that's the vibration of their realm. That's the vibration of their dimension. That's fear brings you right into the vibration of them, and then they can influence you. They still have to get you to concede and be a part of it, and this happens on an unconscious level. We'll explain that. But when that happens and you're trapped in fear, then you're trapped in one part of your brain, which is called the amygdala. And we're going to talk about exactly how they get to the amygdala and how they get to you. I'm also going to tell you exactly what the human's relationship to the reptilians are, because we have a relationship. We have an ancient relationship going back to the dawn of the human race. The fourth aspect of their agenda is to keep you from achieving complete enlightenment. But if they can get you, and this is where they get most people, they get you at number 3, which is to keep you trapped in fear, they never have to worry about number 4. So, today I'm going to talk to you about exactly how that happens, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to read some excerpts from the book The Way of the Shaman by Michael Harner. So feel free to get that book. It's very enlightening. It helps you understand how shamans have always been able to receive information from the divine and then be able to translate it in real terms for human beings. So that's going to be what I'm going to try to do here for you today. So this is from the first chapter of his book. And if you don't know anything about him, he was an atheist or an agnostic. I'm not sure which. He was an anthropologist, and he was down in South America studying the Aboriginal tribes, the native tribes in South America. And so he took some ayahuasca under the guidance of a master shaman. Very important. If you're ever going to do that, you have to make sure you have the guidance of a master shaman. Otherwise, you'll see why. You can get yourself in some serious trouble. So I'm just going to go ahead and read to you the most salient parts about the reptilians, their realm, and how they became connected to us, how they control us and influence us. So, all right, so let's see here. Now, he's just entered into an altered state of consciousness, and here we go. As my eyes seemed to adjust to the gloom, the moving scene resolved itself into something resembling a huge funhouse, a supernatural carnival of demons. In the center, presiding over the activities and looking directly at me, was a gigantic, grinning crocodilian head, from whose cavernous jaws gushed a torrential flood of water. Slowly the waters rose, and so did the canopy above them, until the scene was metamorphosed into a complete duality of blue sky above and sea below. All creatures had vanished. Later on he says, I became aware of my brain. I felt physically that it had become compartmentalized into 4 separate and distinct levels. At the uppermost surface was the observer and commander, which was conscious of the condition of my body and was responsible for the attempt to keep my heart going. It perceived, but purely as a spectator, the visions emanating from what seemed to be the nether portions of my brain immediately below the topmost level. I felt a numbed layer, which seemed to have been put out of commission by the drug. It just wasn't there. Now I was virtually certain I was about to die. As I tried to accept my fate, an even lower portion of my brain began to transmit more visions and information. I was told that this new material was being presented to me because I was dying and therefore safe to receive these revelations. These were the secrets reserved for the dying and the dead, I was informed. I could only very dimly perceive the givers of these thoughts. Giant reptilian creatures reposing sluggishly at the lowermost depths of the back of my brain, where it met the top of the spinal column. I could only vaguely see them in what seemed to be gloomy, dark depths. Then they projected a visual scene in front of me. First they showed me the planet Earth as it was eons ago, before there was any life on it. I saw an ocean, barren land, and a bright blue sky. Then black specks dropped from the sky by the hundreds and landed in front of me on the barren landscape. I could see that the specks were actually large, shiny, black creatures with stubby, pterodactyl-like wings and huge whale-like bodies. Their heads were not visible to me. They flopped down, utterly exhausted from their trip, resting for eons. They explained to me in kind of thought language that they were fleeing from something out in space. They had come to the planet Earth to escape their enemy. The creatures then showed me how they had created life on the planet in order to hide within the multitudinous forms and thus disguise their presence. I learned that the dragon-like creatures were thus inside of all forms of life, including man. They were the true masters of humanity and the entire planet, and they told me, we humans were but the receptacles and servants of these creatures. For this reason, they could speak to me now from within myself. So at this point, he becomes aware that he's about to die. And so he's able to ask for help in this realm to the shamans that are attending him. And they give him an antidote. And the antidote works and it brings him back So he tries to make sense of this, and he goes and he talks to a Christian, and they give him their understanding of the devil and hell and all that other stuff. And then he goes back to the shaman. I was now eager to solicit a professional opinion from the most supernaturally knowledgeable of the Indians, a blind shaman who had made many excursions into the spirit world with the aid of the ayahuasca drink. It seemed only proper that a blind man might be able to be my guide to the world of darkness. He said, there were these giant black animals, something like great bats, longer than the length of this house, who said that they were the true masters of the world. And then he stared up toward me with his sightless eyes and said with a grin, oh, they're always saying that, but they are only the masters of outer darkness. So, this is the realm of the reptilians. Now, you know, we hear about people talking about reptilians, shapeshifters, and all that. We are the vehicles through which the reptilians express themselves. And here's what's interesting to understand. Now, the question to ask is, who were they fleeing from? Remember, this is happening on a different plane of reality. So the reptilians arrived here in their plane of reality. The Earth is able, you know, there's access to all different levels of reality on this Earth. So they're coming from their level of reality. But who are they fleeing from? And here's the plan for human beings. They're fleeing from the celestial beings, the celestial masters, the gods, as we would call them. And the gods sent them here to this Earth. Now, the reptilians think that they're escaping, and the reptilians think that they created human beings in order to use them and to serve them. But in reality, it's the celestial beings that are using them to create human beings, and we are to rise above that. But we are to use their power. The reptilians are very powerful. And so from them we learn the basics of power. And we're meant to use that power to then rise above and become ascended masters, gods, celestial beings in human form. But before we do that, we have to pass this test. And this test is getting stuck in the amygdala. So remember he talked about that this was in the lower part of his brain? Well, it's called the reptilian brain for a reason. So anyway, listen, we could go on and on. I may make other videos about it, but that's it for now. Listen, if you like this channel, please go ahead and contribute. If you can't see the little thing above, look below. It says contribute to this channel. You can also help this channel by subscribing, liking, sharing it with your friends. Get as many people as you can interested in this channel. The more subscribers that I get to this channel, the more ability I'm going to have to be able to spend all of my time doing my teaching over video. You know, people have been asking me to teach stuff for free. Listen, if you want me to teach for free, then we got to make this channel huge. So I need your help to do that. So anyway, that's it for now. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more coming. Real esoteric spirituality without all of the fluff, without all of the nonsense. This is the thunderwizard.com YouTube channel. Click. This is Michael William Denney of the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel. So today I want to talk to you about the 3 important things that you need to do in order to escape the matrix. A really simple, the basic 3-step system that you need in order to wake up in the dream, what I call waking up within the dream. A lot of people talk about being trapped in the matrix and escaping the matrix, okay? There's a simple 3-step process that you need to do. It's going to take some time and some effort, but it's a 3-step process. So before we get into all of that, if you're new to my channel, then I have to explain to you something. And this is the first step. The first step is you have to let go of all limiting beliefs. That means any religion, any philosophy, any spiritual path that tells you that you are limited, that you are trapped, that you have been created by something else. In order for this to work, the first thing you need to do is basically you have to get your base assumption correct. Because if you operate from an incorrect assumption, which is a lie that was given to us 2,000 years ago with the monotheist conspiracy. If you believe the monotheist conspiracy, then you believe that you are a limited, created being, that you've been created by this omnipotent God who sits in the heavens and judges you. And if you don't meet his expectations, then you are sinful, and then you are thrown into hell for eternity. Any belief system that has any of those things in it, anything that says that you are limited, anything that says that you are trapped, anything that says that you are created or controlled, you have to get rid of that. That is a lie. The truth is, you are infinite. You are timeless. You are omnipotent. You are omniscient. You are living in this human body because you chose to put yourself into your own video game. So you can call it the Matrix, you can call it an illusion, you can call it, I prefer to call it a video game because that is really what it is. Your omniscient, omnipotent, eternal soul wanted to learn and to grow and to have fun. So it created a video game, the Matrix. It designed the entire thing, and then it put itself into the midst of it. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and watch the previous video where I talk about karma and reincarnation so that you understand what I'm talking about. So that's the first step. You've created everything. Everything is your own projection, and everything in life, all of the challenges, all of this, everything that you experience is your own creation. And once you understand that and accept the idea that you have total control over your video game, that's the first step. Now, that means that anytime that you feel limited, anytime that you feel trapped, anytime that you are upset, angry, you have to stop and you have to meditate and understand that this is your creation. That everything that you're feeling is a result of you not understanding that you have complete control over this. Now, that knowledge in and of itself may not automatically give you control over your life, but that's where it has to start, because you have to change the assumptions in your unconscious mind. And you first have to do that by meditating. And it takes time. You have to change the software within you. So that's the first step, okay? To understand that you're omnipotent, omniscient, and that you chose to live in this video game and that you have complete control over it. The second step is that you need to gain power, because you have designed this video game in such a way that in order to win the game, in order to get to the next level, in order to exit the matrix, you have to gain sufficient energy. You have to gain sufficient power. So this comes down to the practical thing. If you want to be able to exit the matrix, you have to practice the energy meditations that I give you. Okay? That's the main reason that I give this to you. Listen, one of the main problems with spirituality today, and again, this started 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, people got trapped in their intellect. The intellect is, I listen to people on YouTube who will go on for hours about symbols, and they'll talk about, oh, what this symbol means and what that symbol means and this word means that, and then they get into all this, and it's like, and trust me, listen, I love language, I love symbols, there's power in this, but people get so wrapped up in all this stuff that they get bound up and tied up in all of this symbol. That's your intellect. Your intellect is like a computer, okay? It can only go so far. It's only there to help you. It's there to help you if there's a problem you need to figure out. The intellect can step in and try and figure things out, because the word intellect means to pick apart from among. It is the intellect that turns everything into dualistic things. Here and there, up and down, black and white, good or bad. In order to get out of the intellect, you need power. That's what these meditations are about. So the second step is you've got to have the power to make your intellect your servant rather than it completely controlling you, because it'll drive you crazy. So if you haven't already, start with the whole breath meditation. Okay, that is the basic energy meditation that I teach, which gives you the sacred seed sound of Mother Earth, and that sound will put the power of Earth into your body, and it will clean up and open up all the channels. In fact, if that's the only thing you did for the rest of your life, that would give you everything that you need. So go and do that. For those that have done the whole breath and you want to go to the next level, you can pick from any of the other meditations and energy practices that I have on my channel. The Qigong, the energy work. I'll put a link of that right here. That will put power into your navel center, and that will give you the power to be able to become aware. You'll be able to see, wow, this really is limited. I really do have power, okay? So those are the first two steps. Now the third step is the most important, and it's also the most difficult. This is the one that takes the most time. The third step is you have to gain power over your unconscious mind. So if you're not familiar with the three minds, you have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is the 98% of your mind that sits underneath conscious awareness. Means you are not aware of it. I use the word a lot, and you hear this from psychologists and psychiatrists. They'll talk about the unconscious. Somebody has unconscious rage, for example. If somebody had unconscious rage, it means that on a conscious level, they were not aware of it. If you ask a person, an unconsciously rageful person, do you feel angry? They would say, no, I don't feel any anger at all. So they're in complete, total unawareness. They're in denial of their own anger. This is the power of the unconscious mind. It is the unconscious mind that controls the game, that controls the matrix. So if you do not have power over your unconscious mind, then that means you will feel like you are trapped within a matrix. You will feel as though there is a giant being that is controlling you, and it's your unconscious mind. It's incredibly powerful. Everything we do comes from our unconscious mind. So when you have the ability to become conscious, then you can use when you become conscious of all the things in your unconscious mind, then you can control the dream. If you have things like car problems and rent problems and money problems and health problems, it means that you are projecting your own internal conflict. So the first step is you've got to clean out the conflict inside of here. Now, when you've done that for long enough time, then what happens is your unconscious becomes clearer, and then it becomes a power source for you. And then you get to the point where when you want something in your life, you first connect with your true self, and you're able to actually find out, this is really something that I want. You learn what your true desires are. And then you just simply think about them. Now this is when the secret works. The secret won't work if you haven't done the first two steps. If your unconscious mind is in conflict with your conscious mind, you can all day focus on cars and money and all that and love, and it won't come to you. So the first thing you got to do is those first two steps, and then when you've done that, then you can think about what it is that you truly want, and then when you imagine it, it'll come to pass. It may take a day, a month, a week, a year, but eventually it will come to pass. And then what will happen is you will be in a place where you have this effortless control over your life. And you can steer your life like you steer a car or steer a ship. Okay? So that's it. First 3 steps. First one is you have to let go of all belief systems that tell you that you're limited or you're trapped. I can't help you as long as you believe that you're trapped. I know you feel that way. But accept the idea, meditate on the idea that you are infinite, that you are in control, and that you created your life. Everything in your life you created. If you can acknowledge that and accept that as a basis, then you can make progress. Second step is you've got to do the energy exercises. Listen, people, if you want to, I can't make it any easier for you. I put these meditations and these energy exercises on my channel for free. There's no excuse. I've got giant 1.5-hour videos of rune shamanism with 5 views on them. You guys want all the free stuff, I'm giving it to you, and now you've got to prove to me that it means something to you. And the way that you prove to me that it means something to you is if you actually watch them. So if you're on my channel, don't just stop with this video. Go and look at all of the videos on there. Watch ones that mean something to you, but most importantly, do the meditations, do the exercises. I've given this challenge out before, I'll do it again. I don't care how bad your life is. Pick one meditation. I suggest the Hool breath. Do it every single day for 10 minutes for 1 year. If at the end of that year time, if your life is still miserable, come back on and tell us about it. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. We're always going to have challenges. That's part of the video game. But you're going to feel a huge amount of energy. If you feel like you're trapped, what you are missing is you are missing the connection to the power, the infinite power of all of creation and all of the universe. And these meditations will connect you to that power. Once you feel that power, you will know that you are infinite. You will know that you are not trapped, that you are not limited. Okay? Third step, that comes from a result of doing the first 2 steps for a while. You gain power over your unconscious mind. That's part of what I do as the teacher, is I point out to you what your unconscious limitations are. I share with you the true meaning behind a lot of the symbolic stuff that most teachers throw out, which they don't understand. These people are giving out symbolic teachings from the Ascended Masters that's coming in symbolic form. But unless you have the power and the experience, you can't unlock those symbols and know what they mean and then know what to do with them. So that's my job. Anyway, that's it for now. If you like the channel, please support the channel. If you don't see the thing up here, scroll down below. You'll see something that says support the channel. Subscribe, like, share these videos, put them on Twitter, retweet them, whatever. Let's get this message out there. The more people that I can help, the happier I'm going to be, and that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, so that's it for now. Until next time. Hi, this is Michael William Denney of ThunderShamanism.com. Welcome once again to a very exciting topic I want to talk to you about. So reptilian creatures living underground, coming up, stealing children and feeding off of them. This is one of the main tenets of the reptilian conspiracy. Now, I am here to tell you from a shamanic perspective, the reptilian conspiracy is very real. But the information that you're getting from some of the people like David Icke and others is incomplete. because they don't understand how to interpret shamanic truths. I'm here to spell out exactly what this is for you, how it affects you, and what you can do to protect yourself from it. So before I get into that, let me share with you a story that happened to me. This is a true story. When I was 5 years old, this was in 1969, I was 5 years old, and I was playing at a friend's house. And we were chasing each other around in his backyard, and I remember being chased, and I was running around the corner of his house, and I came around the corner, you know, the trash cans were there, and all of a sudden, I'm not kidding, I saw it as clear as day, coming up out of the ground was this, it was almost like it was like on an elevator, and it was coming up out of the ground very slowly, very dramatically, was this humanoid, reptilian, dark, scaly creature. And it rose up out of the ground, and it stood there and just stared at me. And now I don't know how long this went on, but I remember just looking up and staring at it. And I wasn't really afraid, but I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. So in my little 5-year-old brain, I went, I think I'm supposed to be afraid. So I turned around and I ran. And my friend was coming back around, and I, came back around, and I stopped him and I said, no, 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 turn around. The creature from the Black Lagoon is there. Run. So he thought I was playing pretend. He turned around and he ran, and we ran to the other side of the house. And then he laughed, and then I started telling him that I really saw this. And for a couple of seconds he played along, and I said, no, 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 I'm not playing pretend anymore. I really did see the creature from the Black Lagoon. Back in 1969, we didn't know from Reptilians. That was the closest thing that resembled what I saw. So, I pulled from the monster movies, and I said the creature from the Black Lagoon. But in reality, it looked actually a lot like what we would call now a reptoid creature, a reptilian humanoid creature. So once I convinced him that I wasn't kidding anymore, we went back all the way around, and I looked around the corner, and of course it was gone. And then he gave me a hard time, like, like I was just kidding. And I was like, no, I really saw it. I really saw it. I really saw it. So what happened? What did I see? I was a 5-year-old kid. Was I imagining things? Obviously, I'd seen the movie The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Was my imagination playing games with me, or was something else going on? Well, if I was imagining it, then the body doesn't know the difference between something imagined and something real, so I can't say I wasn't imagining it. But I also know that children have an ability to see realms of reality that most adults can't. Because this is the realm of the shaman. The shaman has known for thousands of years that our reality, what we call reality, is only one of many different realities, stacked one on top of the other. And that these other realms of reality are right here with us. There are other beings on other dimensions right here with us all the time. It's just a question of whether or not we can tap into their vibration and see them. So I believe that I was actually tapping into what we would call the reptilian dimension. And he was coming up from under the ground, and he was clearly very interested in me. So it's following that myth of the reptilians coming up out of the ground and taking children. Now, something could have happened to me at that point. I believe that because of my state of mind, because one of the things was I wasn't afraid. I remember that very clearly. I was not afraid of him. That, I think, protected me. And I'm going to explain to you how important that is. And this is the most important thing. This is the central thing of all of my teachings. No matter whether you want love, whether you want happiness, whether you want success, whether you want health, whatever it is, in order to get it, you must be fearless. Fear is, as the movie says, the mind killer. So, do the reptilians exist? Yes, they do. And they operate from a hive mind, and they do have an agenda. The fourfold agenda of the reptilians goes like this. First one is to destroy your divine identity. Second one is to destroy your ability to defend yourself by sucking all the energy off of your aura, which is your protection layer. The third one, and this is what we're talking about now, in the third level of their agenda, they want to keep you trapped in fear. When you are in fear, you can be manipulated and controlled. And that's how they do it. And they are controlling people on multiple levels. Can they possess a person? Absolutely, I've seen it. But some people aren't possessed, but they're still being controlled because we have a built-in antenna in our body. And that antenna, as it so happens, is called the reptilian brain, and it's located right here. And I shared with you in the previous video about the shaman who, using ayahuasca, was able to isolate his reptilian brainstem. And from there, he saw the visions of the reptilians. And they told him that they were masters of the human race, that they used human beings, that they created human beings in order to live within them and exist through them. And when he shared this with the master shaman, the shaman said, yeah, they always say that, but they're only masters of outer darkness, which could mean the coming from outer space, which he said they told him they came from outer space, but it also means fear. So if you operate from fear, you're automatically vibrating from the reptilian brainstem. We already know what the reptilian brainstem does. It operates from the fight or flight syndrome, which is very important. If there's a real danger, we have to know to be able to run away. Now, for whatever reason, my reptilian brainstem didn't go off. When I saw the reptilian, I didn't get scared. But had I become afraid, then they could have grabbed me. And then maybe over time, they would have been able to hold on to that fear and manipulate me and control me. But because I wasn't afraid, there was nothing for that reptilian to grab onto. The fight or flight syndrome also is our territorial mind. Our territorial mind is mine, not yours, where we get very selfish. So this is connected to racism, because it's the same part of the brain that says, you're different from me, I don't trust you, I'm afraid of you. By the way, all racists are afraid. This is where it comes to, we don't trust people of other cultures or other languages or other religions. It's all the same thing. The territorial mindset, which is the reptilian brainstem. If you listening to me, if you operate from fear, which is also anger, if there are people out there that you want to destroy, you're operating from fear. And you are able to be manipulated. At the extreme level, people can be influenced, they can be possessed, all kinds of other really nasty things. But the good news is that if you make the decision not to be afraid, if you choose to make decisions to live by fearlessness, by compassion, by understanding, by generosity, every one of those life choices gets you further and further away from the reptilian brain and starts to raise you up to your highest level, which is you become a god on this earth, and nothing can touch you. No evil can harm you. And in fact, all of creation must serve you. So we could go on and on and on. This is a much deeper subject. If there are any people out there that are operating from fear and you want help out of that, I do work one-on-one with people, so contact me and I can help you with that. If you like the channel, please go ahead and contribute. If you can't see the little thing up here, look below where it says support the channel. You can also support the channel by subscribing, liking, embedding this, tweeting it, sharing it with your friends, getting this message out there. It is my goal to get this channel huge so that I can continue to teach and open people's minds and to bring us all to the level of gods on earth. So that's it for now. Until next time, my friends, stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. Hi, this is Michael William Denney of the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel, and today I want to talk to you about the truth about karma, reincarnation, and past lives. You have been told a lie about what karma is. You have been told a lie about what reincarnation is. I'm going to clear those up for you, and I'm going to share with you how you can use this knowledge to not only liberate yourself, but to get the most out of this life that you're living right now. You've been told that karma is a bad thing. You've been told that karma is some kind of punishment for sins that you've created in a past life. And so therefore you have to live out this hell in this life that you have now, and when you have paid off of all of your sins, then you don't have to come back and be incarnated again. Well, first, just let me tell you something. You don't ever have to be incarnated again. If you want to be liberated and never have to come back as a human, you don't ever have to. This can be your last lifetime if that's what you want. But in order for me to continue, I need to first, we need to clear up some misconceptions about basic lies about spirituality, which has been given to you by religion. And all religions do this. Religion, the word religion means to bind together. And religion is used to control people. It's used by elite people to control people underneath them in order to squeeze out money and resources. This is what the purpose of religion is, and it's always in direct contrast to true spirituality. Spirituality is always about liberation, liberation of the soul as well as liberation of you personally. And if you can understand the concepts of true spirituality, you can live completely free. You can live as a divine, omnipotent being on earth. And I can teach you how to do that. So the first thing that we need to do before we get into the topic of karma is I need to liberate you from an old idea, from a lie. And this has been inspired to me by a comment that was put down. And by the way, thank you for the comments, the sincere comments you give. Somebody had mentioned, I had used the word karma in a previous video, and somebody had mentioned that in his experience, karma was crippling. And I know exactly what he's talking about, because this is the lie that has been given to people, the misconception about what karma is. That karma is somehow punishment for sins of past lives, and that is completely, totally false. That is a lie. The word karma simply refers to the result of action. That's it. So karma is neither good nor bad. It just simply is it's the law of action and reaction. You know, the karma of going to the gym and lifting weights is you get bigger muscles. The karma of getting on the treadmill and running is you burn off calories and you burn fat. So there's always a karma. There's always a payoff in some way or another. So we only focus on the negative things because we don't want to deal with challenging or difficult reactions to our actions. We only want to deal with the positive things. So this is why this idea of karma has been taken out of context. Now, it is used by religions in the same way that Christianity uses the word sin. And we could talk about that, but the word sin, it isn't what you've been told either. And so karma is used as a way to make you feel bad, to make you feel guilty, to make you feel subservient, to make you dependent upon the priests and the religion and all that kind of stuff. And that's a bunch of nonsense. So let me tell you exactly how karma works and how karma relates to reincarnation. So, as I said earlier, if you don't want to reincarnate, you never have to again. So let me just give you permission right now. If you are under the impression that you hate this life and that you find this life to be a burden on you and that you don't like living here and you don't want to come back, you don't have to. Remember what I'm telling you. When you leave this body that you're in, remember this moment, remember what I'm telling you. You don't have to come back. Now, what you may not realize now at the moment is that you probably will want to come back, because here is what reincarnation is all about. Every time we incarnate, we do so because we chose to do so. Now, there's some false teachings out there that say that you have to be careful because when you die, there are these false beings that will present themselves as beings of light who will try to convince you that you have unfinished karma and therefore you have to go back and that this is a lie and you shouldn't do that. That's absolutely not true. You remember what I'm telling you. When you leave this body, you will meet those beings, and those beings will not in any way tell you what you have to do. You will make that choice if you want to do that. So here's what life is. Life in this body, life in these physical bodies is a video game for the soul. When the soul is not incarnated in a body, it lives in infinite bliss. It is connected to everything. Your soul, when it's not inside of a body, knows that it is the entire universe, that it is God, and that it can do and experience everything, that it's omnipotent, omniscient. It experiences this. But it still wants to learn and grow. And the only way that the soul, the infinite soul, can learn and grow is if it's put into limited scenarios. So that's why we choose to incarnate in these physical bodies, and we choose to live in this three-dimensional matrix, this three-dimensional hologram, whatever you want to call it. And we also, here's the other thing that is important to know. Your life is your creation. You wrote it. Whatever challenges you're experiencing in life that you want to be out of now, you created those challenges because within those challenges is some knowledge, is some lesson that your soul wanted to learn. So it's not like what you've been told. It's not like you're sitting there and there's these big giant, God or gods that are saying, you need to learn this lesson, so we're going to send you back and we're going to make life difficult for you because you screwed up last time. That's not how it works. What happens is like when the soul is in the midst of infinity, it devises these challenges because it knows that it can overcome them, but it makes it challenging and difficult. And it's just like a video game. If you're playing a video game and you're in the midst of a video game and you're fighting the monsters and you're driving the air spaceship or whatever the hell it is that you're doing in the video game, and you're taking it really seriously, and then all of a sudden you die and you scream and you go and you take the controller and you throw it across the room and you stamp on the floor and you cuss. And then you laugh and you take a sip of soda and then you go, you know what, that was fun. I want to do that again. So you take the controller and you do it again because there's that one level. You can't get past that one level, and you're going to get past that level and you're going to figure it out. And you go online and you find out where all the special little things are and all the little tricks. This is what your soul does. In between lives, your soul does exactly that. It sits back and it looks at the game that it just played and it goes, I did it again. I got in the middle of that challenge, that thing that if you get over that challenge, there's going to be this huge payoff for the soul. And it's going to be incredibly liberating, and it's fun for the soul. So now the reason why we forget is because if we remembered that we were infinite and that everything is by the snap of a finger, we wouldn't learn anything. So we convince ourselves that we forget, we convince ourselves that we're limited, and that's part of the game, to remember when you're in the game, to wake up in the matrix, to wake up in the game and remember, oh, that's right, I'm infinite. I can do whatever I want. So, these are the things that people get out of lucid dreaming and shamanic journeys and all that kind of stuff, which is why I teach it. So this is the bottom line here. So let's get back to real life, okay? When you die, you have the choice to come back or not. Now, you think you don't want to come back. I know I'm there often myself. I've been there for many years. I remember thinking I don't ever want to come back until I started waking up in the dream. And now that I've woken up in the dream, I know that it's a video game. And here's the fun part. I'm able now to direct my life in ways that seem effortless. I'm able to get all of the things that I want. And here's the thing. You think you know what you want until you wake up, and then you realize, oh, I really don't want that. And you remember what it is you truly want in life, and then you start getting it. The source of all unhappiness is going after things you think you want when in reality you don't. But in order to remember what it is you really want, you have to wake up in the dream. So that's a whole other topic that we can get into. So that's the bottom line. Listen, karma is not a punishment. It is not difficult. Everything that you experience in this life is karma, positive and negative. And here's the thing we don't realize. The majority of what you have is positive. The fact that you are a human being is a result of positive karma. There are beings out there, you call them angels, you call them gods, you call them all kinds of whatever. These beings cannot become human. And they wish they could, because there is such power and such wisdom in the video game that we call human life. So anyway, that's it for now. Listen, if you want more teaching on this, you can contact me directly. I work with people directly. You can become an apprentice. And if you really want some help figuring out some powerful ways to sort of dial in that game, then let me take a look at your Vedic astrological chart, and I'll put a link on that for you to go do that if that's something that you want to do. That's a way that you can really kind of, that gives you all the little special tools, and you can get a jump start in your life. So if you like the channel, go ahead and contribute. If you don't see the little thing, scroll below, you'll see contribute to the channel. Also subscribe, like, comment. If you have a question, or if there's a video that you want me to make, or something like that, go ahead and put it in the comments, and if I like it, I'll go ahead and do it. So that's it for now, my friends. Until next time, remember that you are God. You are in control of this video game. Stay tuned, because I'm going to explain more about this as time goes on. Thanks. Real esoteric spirituality without all of the fluff, without all of the nonsense. This is the thunderwizard.com YouTube channel. Click. Real esoteric spirituality without all of the fluff, without all of the nonsense. This is the thunder. All right, so that one worked. I figured out what the problem was with the first one I put out earlier. One of the files was corrupted and it was getting stuck. So the good news is I can keep doing this. I just got to check the videos. What I've been doing is, because I don't have all of my old videos on my hard drive, is that I'm actually going and ripping them and downloading them onto my hard drive, and then since they're mine, I can do that. We'll keep watching, because look, just by watching this live Q&A, there are so many people, even people on my channel, who haven't watched all of the videos. Now, bear in mind there's over 700 of them, but again, it just bears repeating. If you really want to learn from me, one of the things you can do is go onto my channel and start binge watching, and learn how to search from within a channel. Don't go up to the top of the YouTube and try and type in one of my videos or something. You're going to get everything on YouTube about that. Figure out how, on whatever device you're on, whether it's a laptop or a desktop or whether it's a phone, there's a way to go inside somebody's channel and search any search word you want. You want to search reptilians, you can do that. Qigong, you can do that. Karma, people ask me, make a video about this, and I've done tons of videos about those things. Put some time and effort into actually watching the channel. That's a good thing to do, because if you want to make any headway in spirituality, you're going to have to be self-motivated. You're going to have to be able to think for yourself and put effort into researching, true research, not just letting YouTube tell you what to watch. That's not research. I get that all the time. People, when I say something people don't agree with, they go, do your research. And they think they've done research because they've watched 100 YouTube videos from people saying the same thing. That's not research. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So that's the scoop for today. We'll be back with more videos quick. What I want to do
is get this channel to be the premier spiritual resource on YouTube. For that, I need your help. So I need you to subscribe, hit the bell button, and I need you to do as what I said earlier, which is watch my videos. You know, actually spend time going on my channel and watching my videos. And share these videos on YouTube and Instagram and wherever the hell you can share YouTube videos at. Get as many people to this channel as possible, and yeah, put out some good vibes. My next goal, which who knows how long it'll take, I want to get 250,000 subscribers. I got 20,000 now, so we got some work ahead of us to do. So I'm going to do my part. I'm just going to keep cranking out the videos, and do your part. Watch them and send some good energy when you think about the channel. Send some good energy my way, and you can do things like ask me, you know, on the YouTube comments. Please don't contact me personally unless you're my apprentice. But you can leave comments on the videos. Do a video about this. Do a video about that. And if I think it's a good idea, or if I think it'll get some good attention, I'll be happy to talk about whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. All right, that's it for me right now. I'll check and see. I don't think there are any questions. No. So normally, you know, new people are out here and they're just babbling away. Normally on the Q&As, I don't allow that. I just want to hear the questions. So if you guys decide to come back, welcome to the channel. If it's a live question and answer, just ask questions. I'm not interested in all of the traffic. But in this, I'm not monitoring it, so you can do whatever the hell you want. All right, that's it for me. Stay safe. Don't be stupid. And you know, follow all the protocols in your area. And let's get through this interesting time. Before I go, lockdown.thunderwizard.com. I took $3,200 off of all of my services, all the ones that I have control over. And you know, like I can't control my books and my DVDs, but the video teachings that I have, I am giving all of that away. The only thing you're paying for is some private sessions with me. So the price that you see for Lockdown is just for the private sessions. The rest of the $3,200 worth of teachings and things you're getting for free. And that's because people are sitting at home and they don't have jobs, and then now they finally have the time to go take a look at themselves and do work on themselves, and I want to do my part. So until we're done with this COVID-19, go to lockdown.thunderwizard.com and save yourself $3,000. Thunderwizard.com is the other subscription site. Check that out. You can learn Master Shamanism for 25 bucks a month. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe after the first day. And, you know, what have you lost? But you can also learn Manifestation Mastery, which is another course, and then a new one which I'm putting together now, which is the Union of Masculine and Feminine. Courses.thunderwizard.com has all of my books, all of my DVDs, all of the other stuff that you're getting for free up here, and other stuff that I can't put in that. So again, subscribe, hit the bell button. I'll check and see if there are any questions before I go. Don't see a question, don't see a question. All right, there it is. That's all for me, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Wait, where did I go? I need this thing right here. All right, see you guys soon.